Welcome to my week 21 and 22 session review of my Waterdeep Dragon Heist. The second-hand six are standing around the dragon that they just killed, and as it's taking its last breath, red smoke comes from the dying dragon's mouth and wraps around the six adventurers. The smoke grants draconic gifts to them, except for Draven, all receiving different abilities, as well as some physical trait marking them. Z2 and Vengeance harvested the dragon for parts. Z2 was able to extract both of its flame sacks and heart and some scales. Vengeance got its scales, some blood vials, and a couple teeth. He failed on a couple rolls, so destroying the rest of them. They took the head and some organs that weren't worth much, but took it so that they could display some of that stuff at the Troll Skull Tavern. So let's talk about harvesting rules. So I started to use some stuff from a third party, like the harvesting rules, and it's from an Arcadia article, actually. But what's weird is, like, the players aren't playing normal classes, so the normal bonuses you would get from these items that you harvested from the dragons, the players aren't getting them because they're not made for their homebrew classes. And I could feel some of the disappointment from the players, at least after harvesting the dragon, especially because they don't get bonuses, and they're not getting any bonuses from the items that they receive from the dragon. And they're kind of like bummed out about this mechanic. Now, that doesn't mean that they won't get stuff down the road from other monsters they harvest things from. But as of right now, I feel like the inclusion of these harvesting mechanics, especially as I've also stated, creating magic items can't be done. It has, at least to me, has felt like the players are feeling that it was kind of like a waste of time to do all this harvesting. They gathered up the horde while the harvesting was going on. They also asked the gold dragon to explain some of their draconic gifts, and he also seemed to remember Draven, but noted that he probably should have been older. They then take the gold to Silverhand. At this point, it's about 2 a.m. And as they were about to leave, Draven asked to talk to her one-on-one. After speaking to her, he now believes that he's from a parallel world. Draven of this world used to be Silverhand's lover, and was linked to Ternan, the next place that they're going to go probably talk to, the bartender of the Yawning Portal. How to drop lore. So in my opinion, I have dropped lore in a way where it is when the players pry for it. So players are hoping, wanting, looking specifically for it. As just doing lore dumps are boring and players will just zone out, especially when you're playing online and everyone, when they're not involved or playing on a computer or playing video games. So, you want to make it so that they're interested in going to get that lore, right? You don't want to just do lore dumps and just big spiels of talking. You end up doing that anyways, but at least make it so that they want to go look for that. They're looking for answers. They headed to the trade ward in the morning after some rest to sell off their possessions and use some of the dragon parts to upgrade Orc's weapon, and they split the rest of the loot. Now, quick little thing. I did say you can't create magical items and stuff like that. There are 2 exceptions to that. One person's special item, trying to weaken his build altogether, and then and the druid as well as I want to make sure that he has a chance if he wishes to make his weapon stronger if he wishes. He hasn't yet, and I don't think he will. But these things are organic, and they're not magical. They're not getting a lot of extra stuff. They're just basic little upgrades. just because I know I said there's no upgrading or creating magical items, and I said upgrade, so I want to make sure that's talked about. I'm also adding the next week here because it's a bit short, and we're wrapping up in a couple weeks or so, and I'll be ending my weekly series of session reviews, and I kind of want to catch up because I'm a couple weeks behind my actual campaign as my review, so I want to catch up, so maybe there's going to be 1 or 2 videos that are going to be kind of pushed together, but that doesn't mean I won't make videos. It's just I won't be making these review videos because after we wrap up part 1 of the campaign, we're going to take a little break, and then we'll be doing part 2. But I don't think I'll be doing these weekly reviews at that point. Let's talk about what happened after they sold their items. They went to the yachting portal to complete their mission for the Grey Hands. When they arrived, the man, Maloon, was not there, and Draven took this chance to go speak to Durnan. And Durnan told him that he won't be speaking to him out in the open, and they can come back in 12 days to speak to them while his tavern is under routine maintenance that he gets. They agreed. Draven also left him a note discussing what Silverhand told him to explain some of Silverhand's feelings towards Durnan. And then soon after that, Maloon came up from the hole, and while the party sat and started to eat, they started their mission, watching Maloon for the Grey Hands. Through the watching of Maloon and speaking, they find out a little bit more about the hole of the yawning portal. They find out it leads to the Undermountain, a place where adventurers go to find treasures and sometimes death. Maloon explains to the party that the Undermountain has become more dangerous over the last couple months and has seen a lot more adventurers die. On about day 2 of their stakeout, they find out that he is the owner of Azor Edge, a sentient weapon that Doc found while he wild shaped into a spider and crawled into his room. And he saw Maloon pace in front of the blade, and had a very concerned look on his face. Like I said, the weapon is sentient, and definitely saw Doc while he was doing an identify spell while Maloon slept that night, trying to figure out what was going on. Next few days passed quite quietly, and he never approached them or Doc. I want to talk about giving info by doing nothing. So the players know 3 truths at this point. The weapon saw Doc. Sentient weapons can speak to the attuned users. And Maloon never acted differently or approached the players. This told them that the Blade didn't want to talk to Maloon or inform them that someone was in the room one of those nights. Why? They don't know, but this gives them info without me actually doing anything, without me actually explaining anything. They are able to put these kind of things together, right? And with me doing nothing, this led to them going back into the room and begin to ask the weapon questions. They found out from the weapon that he was being controlled somehow, Maloon that is, and was doing evil things. Now, the item could only give binary answers, so this was difficult at first until Doc figured it out. It took a little bit. It can attach to any object and be unable to be removed from it unless you use something like a wish spell or destroy the object that it's connected to. They did try to subdue him without fighting, but while they were trying to tie him up, he summoned the axe to him and prepared to fight against them. When they were left with no choice, they fought and killed Maloon. And actually an intellect devourer popped out of his skull, and it rendered Draven paralyzed and was quickly dispatched by the party. They decided to take the body to the Grey Hands, and that's where we ended the session. So that's it for now. Please let me know if you liked it down in the comment section below. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And like always, have a beautiful day. Bye.